Business Insider has a great article out today about the militarization of the police in America and just how far it's gone. This one fact says it all to me. Quote, "The Defense Department gives this military-grade equipment to cops through its 1033 program, which has the motto, 'From warfighter to crime fighter.' The idea is that police can repurpose equipment once used on the battle lines to fight the drug war and terrorists at home. Back in 1990, the military transferred only about $1 million worth of equipment through this program, according to the ACLU. That number in 2013 is now $450 million. Wow. So think about that, man. That's incredible. In 1990, the idea of a militarized police force was a distant thought. $1 million a year was given from former military equipment given to the police. Okay, now it's $450 million in 2013. You know, one of the leaders of the ACLU had a fantastic point about this. What they said is, the old cliche kind of stands up in this conversation, that when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So if the police around the United States all have access to these incredibly high-powered assault weapons that we never used before here, right? They have all this body armor, camouflage, they have all these strange kinds of Humvees that are specifically made for war, all these weird shields that, again, are specifically made for war, above and beyond anything even a SWAT team would be using, right? It's like a SWAT team on steroids. It is quite literally stuff that was used in war that's now used on the streets in the United States of America. When you get to that point, they're going to end up using it because they have the option to use it. And it's a very scary thing, man. And as we've discussed, there's some great evidence of this occurring just in the past week or so. I mean, we did the story, a poor kid in Walmart, black kid, 22 years old, holding an air gun that was from Walmart, got gunned down by cops. They just immediately assumed, oh, he must be shooting people. He's a black kid holding something that looks like it's a gun, so kill him. It was in the store that they were selling. So other people had bought it and carried it out and paid for it, and it was fine. But when the black kid holds it, now all of a sudden, oh my God, kill him. Right? Or the story of Michael Brown, as we discussed the other day, how this poor kid, we don't have all the facts yet, so I don't want to be too damning in my condemnation here, but what we do know is, however it got to the point that he was running away with his hands up, he was running away with his hands up, and then he got gunned down and killed. There's another story coming out of L.A. today where they say, and this is just, again, to be clear, not all the facts are in, this is just according to the family of the victim, so take it with a grain of salt if you please, okay? But they say that there was a kid was laying on the ground with his hands up like this, and a cop just shot him execution style in L.A. Black kid. There's clearly a mindset, and again, we don't know all the facts. Maybe we'll learn something new that'll put that into question, but even if, that story is only 10% true, it's still fucked up. You don't shoot somebody in that way, right? But what we see here is a mindset, a pervasive mindset of law enforcement, that it's us versus them. It's the in-group, out-group mentality. It's the blue shield. It's whatever we do is right by definition because we are the law. And that's one thing when, maybe we could deal with that if we had a situation like in Europe where they carry around billy clubs or whatever the fuck they are. And that's as serious as it gets. But here it's not even just like, oh, they have a pistol, which I still don't think they should have. You can have a pistol in your car, I believe, or a gun in your car. I think the first round should be a tranquilizer or an incapacitating round, a beanbag or whatever. But here we have a situation where it's not even just a pistol. It's like, oh, you're looking like you're fighting in Afghanistan right now. And you're trying to stop peaceful protesters like what's still going on today in Ferguson, Missouri. So this is a sad thing, man. It's amazing to me that Tea Partiers and conservatives and Republicans, they always cry about tyranny is coming and, oh, look out, the FEMA camps and this and that. No, the tyranny that you should fear is right here. I just gave you the tyranny. I just gave you the facts. The tyranny is we used to have a militarized police force to the tune of $1 million. Now it's to the tune of $450 million. And they're using shit that doesn't even make sense. Let me show you one right here. I don't even know what that is. What is that? It's like a ground tank. It's like a walking tank. Look, I want police to be safe, of course, but I also want the people to be safe, and I also don't want an invading army on our streets. We got to stop the madness, man. You're 29 times more likely to get killed by a police officer than a terrorist attack in the United States of America. Let that swirl around your head a little bit. You're afraid of the boogeyman that's not the actual problem. Maybe the actual problem is this militarized police force.